Cause them white folk, Boosie, you done got too much. You done let these niggas play you too mother. And this internet book dumb and say what Lil Tootie gonna do now? What Lil Tootie say? Listen, Vlad TV. Vlad ain't Vlad post everybody going to jail but Boosie. Somebody tag Vlad TV.
I ain't really got no opinion on him. Cause my opinion can send me to prison.
Boosie, your boy don't know how to fight. Neither do that T.I. little yellow mother. The long hair slap Kanye West. That's where he was wrong at home.
Yeah.
Why slap him for what, nigga? When you had a 15-year-old hitman, nigga, that murdered black people.
Boosie going to jail! Oh, God is good. I keep telling y'all, street got no guards. Guards do not look out the street. Boosie really thought he wasn't going to jail for that cookie. I knew he was going.
Charleston thrives off stirring the pot. That's literally his whole formula. He builds his name by running his mouth, testing people's limits, and watching the chaos unfold. That's how he stays relevant. Find a popular name, throw gasoline on it, and set it on fire for views. He's gone after rappers, activists, even athletes. No one's safe when Charleston fishing for clout. But when he decided to drag Boosie into his circus act, that's when he messed with the wrong one. This wasn't just another diss. It was a dangerous move, the kind that crosses lines you can't come back from. And of course, Charleston did what he always does. Hopped online and started running his mouth like he was untouchable. Boosie going to jail. That baby ain't even gonna see his daddy till he walking and talking. He laughed, mocking Boosie's situation like it was comedy. Then he took it even further, throwing shade at T.I. and his son, calling them weak and soft, just to get more attention. That's the twisted part about Charleston. The louder the outrage, the bigger the payday. But this time, his obsession with chaos took a darker turn. Because see, Boosie ain't built to sit back and let someone play with his name, especially not his family's. Charleston started with harmless jokes, calling Boosie washed up, saying his career was fading. But we all know that's just how he starts. He pokes until he hits a nerve. And when he finally mentioned Boosie's son, Tutai, everything changed. That's when people started saying, yeah, nah, this ain't trolling anymore. It got personal. Too personal. Charleston even bragged about trying to get Tutai in trouble, laughing like the whole thing was a game. But Boosie's not built for games. The internet could feel that tension rising. It wasn't if something would happen. It was when. And the craziest part? Charleston knew exactly what he was doing. He kept pushing, kept running his mouth, because that's his business model. Chaos for clicks, pain for profit. At first, Boosie stayed quiet, like he was trying to keep his cool. No Instagram rants, no wild responses, just silence. But the more Charleston kept mentioning Tootie's name, the more it felt like something was about to snap. You could sense it, that still moment before everything explodes. Everyone watching knew this wasn't just internet beef anymore. This was about pride, family, and the one thing Boosie refuses to let anyone play with, respect. When Boosie finally stepped in front of that camera, the whole energy shifted. He didn't yell, he didn't curse, and he didn't need to. It was that cold, quiet type of warning that lets you know playtime's over.
Saw one dude said he said he's the one who got your son arrested. How do you feel about stuff like that?
Who got my son arrested?
Then you said Charleston White went on the record.
I don't know, man. I don't fuck with Charleston White. That nigga, they're Prush. I ain't fucking with y'all. I'm keeping that nigga name out my mouth. That's a threat to my success.
Yeah.
Charleston White, he ain't hiding. Charleston White gonna get your ass locked up.
Yeah.
So, I've been ducking that smoke with Charleston.
That's the only smoke I ever heard Boosie say he ducking.
That's some smoke you don't want, man.
Man.
I ain't trying to have no man calling no DAs on and all this on me. That's real shit.
Yeah.
It's real fake shit.
People got to realize, right, if you look at our community, I don't understand why people make threats online. Why they...
Every word carried weight, like thunder rolling before a storm. Don't ever come for my kids. Don't drag my family into your circus. That's all it took. The internet exploded. Clips of Boosie's message flooded every timeline, turning comment sections into digital battlegrounds. Half the people were cheering, saying, that's what a real father does. The rest were nervous, warning Boosie not to let Charleston bait him into something that could get ugly fast. But one thing was undeniable. Charleston had finally gone too far. And when Boosie spoke again, his tone said it all. I ain't really got no opinion on that, 'cause my opinion could send me to prison. You could hear the exhaustion in his voice, that mix of anger and restraint. He wasn't about to let Charleston drag him into another headline. Still, it was clear this hit deep. The man was fighting real cases, facing real judges, while Charleston was out here playing internet games. Boosie even joked that the system never cut him a break, that even when he tried to keep it clean, they found a reason to pull him back. That wasn't a threat. That was a warning wrapped in truth, a reminder that this wasn't entertainment for him. Meanwhile, Charleston kept doubling down like he couldn't read the room, talking reckless about Boosie's charges, bringing up cases, even mocking how Boosie carried himself in interviews. He started throwing around legal jargon, claiming Boosie was really in danger and facing serious time, turning a man's real-life struggles into online clickbait. It was wild, like he forgot Boosie wasn't just another internet target. This was a man who'd survived real trenches, real enemies, and a justice system built to break him. But what most people miss was that this feud didn't start here. It had history. The real spark goes back to when Kanye West stepped out wearing that White Lives Matter shirt. The entire culture split overnight. Half defended Kanye, half called him out, and Boosie was front and center, blasting him for disrespecting his own people. Boosie's word went viral, and that's when Charleston saw his opening. Instead of agreeing, he flipped the whole script. He mocked Boosie, twisting his words and calling him a hypocrite. Who are you to talk? Charleston said, painting Boosie as the same kind of clout chaser he was accusing Kanye of being. It was classic Charleston. Flip the narrative, gaslight the situation, and feed the chaos. And just like that, what started as a cultural debate turned into one of the most heated personal feuds the internet's ever seen. Pride, family, and legacy all colliding under the spotlight. From that point on, Charleston found his new addiction, Boosie. Anytime Kanye made headlines, Charleston dragged Boosie's name right into like clockwork.
I'm Kanye West, that's where we wrong at, homie.
Yeah.
Why slap him for what, nigga? When you had a 15-year-old hitman, nigga, that murdered black people. The little kid got life without parole. Why would he slap Kanye West, a man with biracial white children, embracing the concept and the notion that black and white lives matter?
He brought you up because you were attacking Kanye because of the.
Nah, this Kanye West, it just happened. Nigga been coming at me. He been coming at me. It's just, I can't respond to those people, bro. Like, that's a danger to what I got going on. Can't take no risk of losing this shit behind me.
Keeping both names tied together in some twisted PR stunt. And every time the internet took the bait, Charleston turned the volume up even louder. He wasn't just trolling anymore. He was feeding off chaos like it was his career fuel. Once he saw how much attention those Boosie rants were pulling, he decided to level up the disrespect. He started hinting at jail time, saying wild stuff on live, talking in circles about reports, indictments, and the FBI like he was narrating his own crime drama. It was messy, it was reckless, and it was pure Charleston, all noise, no breaks. Then out of nowhere, he switched targets again. This time, it was King Harris, T.I.'s son. And that's when everyone realized Charleston wasn't just picking fights anymore. He was building a brand off controversy. He called King spoiled, soft, and fake, clowning everything from his hair to his clothes to the way he talked. He mocked him for growing up rich and still trying to act tough, like being born into success was some kind of crime. Then, Charleston crossed another line, saying King was headed to jail like it was a punchline. That wasn't roasting. That was personal. And King wasn't going to let it slide. He jumped on Instagram Live, staring straight into the camera, saying if they ever crossed paths in real life, it was up. No games. No jokes. Just consequences. And right behind him came T.I. calm, but deadly serious. He didn't yell or threaten. He just made it crystal clear that Charleston had gone too far. Tips at exactly what every father in the culture was thinking. You don't come for my kid. That one sentence hit harder than any diss track. Because now, This wasn't just Charleston versus Boosie. It was Charleston versus two Southern legends, both standing shoulder to shoulder, both defending their sons like real men should. The whole internet went crazy. Clips of King's live, Boosie's warning, and T.I.'s message flooded social media. Fans debated nonstop. Was King really built like that, or was this just another viral stunt gone left? It didn't matter. The story had taken on a life of its own. Every time Charleston opened his mouth, it went viral. Every time Boosie or T.I. fired back, it exploded again. The drama was running 24/7 like a soap opera in 4K. But behind all the memes, the lives, and the laughs, there was something deeper. This wasn't about clout anymore. It was about family, respect, and lines you just don't cross. Because in hip-hop and in real life, there's one unspoken rule. You never come for a man's kids. Charleston thought he was untouchable, hiding behind his favorite shield. I'll call the cops. That was his go-to move, his get-out-of-trouble card. But this time, that card was starting to lose its power. That I'll call the cops excuse had always been Charleston's ace in the hole, the thing that made him feel safe talking reckless about rappers, their families, and even their children. It's what let him act bold online, knowing most street dudes wouldn't risk catching a case by touching him. But when you zoom out and really look at the situation, that safety net wasn't saving him anymore. Because no matter how many calls he threatened to make, he was still poking at men with real roots, real codes, and real consequences. And when you play with people's families for clicks, eventually, the internet can't protect you. It was never just an online spectacle. It ran way deeper than that. This was a real test of respect, a test of pride, and a test of how far a man will go to defend his family. Boosie's warning didn't come from ego or for clout. It came straight from his soul. You could feel the air shift when he spoke. It wasn't entertainment anymore. It was raw emotion, a father protecting what he loves. And T.I.? Same energy. He didn't jump in to protect King's image as a rapper. He stepped up as a father, as a man, showing that same heavy energy that made everyone pause mid-scroll. But Charleston kept brushing it off like it was just another day at the office, another round of trolling for clicks. What's crazy is that all this chaos started over something as simple as a shirt. Kanye West's White Lives Matter stunt cracked open the door, and Charleston kicked it off the hinges. Boosie called Kanye out not for fame, but out of frustration, because he felt Kanye disrespected the culture and his own people. He spoke up for those who didn't have the platform to say it out loud. But Charleston saw an opportunity, not to defend, not to discuss, but to hijack the spotlight. He flipped the whole narrative, turning Boosie's passion into punchlines and his message into mockery. By tying Boosie's name to Kanye's controversy, Charleston built himself an endless feedback loop of attention. Every time Kanye trended, Charleston dragged Boosie right back into it. That became his whole strategy, turn other people's anger into his content. But the second he shifted focus from Kanye to Boosie's son, the energy shifted completely. That wasn't trolling anymore. That was stepping into forbidden territory. And when he dragged King Harris into the chaos, the internet exploded. King's not the type to stay quiet. He's fiery, confident, and proud. So when Charleston clowned him, King clapped back hard, speaking straight from the gut, no filters. And behind him stood T.I., solid, calm, but ready for war if needed. It wasn't about rap at that point. It was about manhood and fatherhood colliding with disrespect. Meanwhile, Charleston sat there celebrating like he'd won something. Laughing, trolling, going live, saying he hoped Boosie rotted in jail, mocking the plea deal, and talking reckless like it was a sport. He bragged about how long Boosie had been fighting the case, called him dumb for trusting the system, and taunted him about his family. That's when the whole thing stopped being petty drama and became a generational clash. Old school fathers defending their legacy versus a man who profits off chaos. On one side, you had Charleston mocking sons of legends, calling them soft, spoiled, and fake. On the other, you had fathers and sons standing tall, showing unity, saying loud and clear, family comes before fame. That's why the internet couldn't look away. This wasn't just another beef. It was fathers versus a troll, legacy versus disrespect, chaos versus code. Charleston's antics might have made him go viral, but it was Boosie's calm fury and T.I.'s steady strength that gave this story its power. When Boosie looked straight into the camera and said, "Don't mess with my family," that clip spread like wildfire because it hit a universal nerve. Every parent, every man understood that line. Same with T.I. When he stood up for King, he wasn't chasing headlines. He was reminding the world what integrity looks like when it's tested. That kind of respect doesn't fade. It resonates. But Charleston's no fool. He knows exactly what he's doing. Every reaction, every repost, every headline, it's all gas for his machine. He hid behind that "they can't touch me" attitude, acting untouchable, using the same formula every time. Provoke, trend, repeat. If Boosie or T.I. respond, he wins. If they ignore him, he spins it like he's already won. It's manipulation disguised as confidence. But here's the part Charleston doesn't seem to understand. When the dust settles, chaos fades. Respect lasts. And no amount of trolling can outshine the power of a man protecting his family. But the moment you bring his child into it, you're not dealing with a rapper anymore. You're dealing with a father. And that's the part Charleston keeps forgetting. The internet might love a circus, but not when it starts touching real-life pain. Boosie didn't have to scream or threaten. His silence spoke louder than any viral clip ever could. That kind of quiet comes from a man who's been through too much to entertain disrespect. Meanwhile, T's handling it his own way, calm but surgical. You can see it in his tone, the way he carries himself like he's been here before. He's not shouting or chasing headlines, but every word feels deliberate. T's message wasn't just for Charleston. It was for anyone watching who thought this was a game. He said, "We protect ours." And that alone shifted the entire energy. The internet suddenly realized this wasn't a trending topic anymore. It was a warning shot. See, what Charleston doesn't get is that this new generation might live online, but Boosie and T built their names in a world where consequences come face to face. They've survived beefs, losses, real street smoke, not hashtags. And while Charleston might feel untouchable behind a camera, even his followers are starting to notice that he's playing with a level of danger that no amount of views can protect him from. At this point, it's not even about clout or content. It's about legacy. Two fathers standing on principle versus one man addicted to chaos. And the world's watching, waiting to see which side folds first. Because when respect, family, and pride are on the line, the internet can't save you. Not from real men who still live by real codes. But that's the thing about fire. Once it spreads, you can't control where it burns. Charleston lit a match he thought he could dance around, but now is surrounded by flames he can't laugh his way out of. Every word he drops feels heavier now. Every joke carries real-world weight. Boosie and T.I. aren't laughing. Their silence has turned into a storm cloud, the kind that doesn't make noise until it's right over your head. You can feel it brewing, that uneasy calm before something real happens. And the streets? They're watching every move. Clips of Charleston's rants are getting dissected frame by frame like people are waiting for the moment things cross from talk to action. You've got fans arguing, bloggers speculating, and the culture split down the middle, half craving chaos, half praying it doesn't go too far. But one thing everyone agrees on is that this energy feels dangerous. The jokes don't hit the same anymore. The laughs sound nervous. This ain't internet banter. It's pride, legacy, and manhood colliding in real time. Boosie and T.I. both carry history, men who've lost too much to let someone test their fatherhood for clicks. And Charleston? He's treating it like a performance, but even he can feel the shift. The more he talks, the more the world realizes this could end ugly. No amount of live streams or apologies can erase what's already been said, because in their world, words like that don't just disappear. They echo. Now the internet sits on edge, waiting for the next headline, the next clip, the next moment where the line between viral fame and real-life consequence blurs completely. Everyone's asking the same thing. How far can Charleston really push before somebody decides to make a point the old-fashioned way? The kind of way that doesn't need Wi-Fi or views to go viral. Too many lines are being crossed, and now there's no turning back. The pride's too deep, the emotions too raw, and the family ties too personal. This isn't just Charleston White running his mouth for clicks anymore. This is the internet colliding head-on with the laws of real-life respect. It's the difference between trolling for attention and standing on business, between digital drama and street principles. And it's proof that no matter how viral things get, some rules still don't change. Family always comes first, and disrespect always comes with price. Boosie made that message loud and clear the second he said, "Don't talk about my kids." That wasn't just a warning. That was a line in the sand. T.I. backed it up with that same energy, reminding everyone that behind the fame and platinum records, these are still fathers defending what matters most. Now the whole culture's tuned in, waiting to see if Charleston finally realizes he's playing a game that can't be won. Because when honor's on the line, clout don't count for nothing. The internet split wide open. Some say Boosie did exactly what a real man's supposed to, protect his blood. Others argue Charleston went too far into territory no man should ever touch. And then there's a big debate. Did King Harris standing up make him look strong, or did it give Charleston the spotlight he's been chasing all along? Either way, this story's nowhere near done. Drop your thoughts in the comments, because it's only getting crazier from here. Will Charleston finally chill, or will he keep pushing until someone shows him that Wi-Fi can't save you from real-world consequences? This saga is still unfolding, and the heat's only rising. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe, because the next chapter of this beef, it's about to explode.